This is RLN News, and I'm Rosalind Hendrickson. Tonight, we have breaking news. In medical news, Alzheimer drug gets full FDA approval. And we'll have more in just a moment. We have several news stories, but tonight, top story comes out of Lexington, Kentucky. We have several news stories, but tonight, top story comes out of Lexington, Kentucky, where the Food and Drug Administration on Thursday fully approved the Alzheimer's drug Leqembi amid concerns about its safety, cost, and accessibility. The move marks the first time that a drug meant to slow the progression of the disease has been granted full regulatory approval. Other approved drugs only target its symptoms. I don't think we can underestimate the significance of this moment, said Donna Wilcock, the Assistant Dean of Biomedicine at the University of Kentucky. About 6.7 million adults ages 65 and older in the United States have Alzheimer's disease, according to the Alzheimer's Association. Leqembi from Japanese drug maker Eisai and US-based drug maker Biogen targets a type of protein in the brain called beta amyloid, long thought by scientists to be one of the underlying causes of Alzheimer's disease. In a phase 3 clinical trial of 1,795 patients with mild cognitive impairment or early stage disease, progression of the illness was slowed by 27% over the 18-month period. While patients still do decline on the drug, the decline is slowed, Wilcox said. And Dr. Ronald Peterson, a neurologist at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, said in an email that Leqembi is not a cure, nor does it stop the disease. He says it's a first step for hopefully more therapeutics in the future. The Alzheimer's Association, which has vocally advocated for the drug's approval, praised the decision. The treatment could give people in the early stages of Alzheimer's more time to maintain their independence and do the things they love, Joanne Pike, President and CEO of the Alzheimer's Association, said in a statement. And this gives people more months of recognizing their spouse, children, and grandchildren, Pike said. And we'll have more coming up right after this. This program is brought to you by Restored Living Financial, Premier Elite Real Estate. Up next in the news, U.S. jobs report, Wall Street, and your AccuWeather forecast. In financial news, stocks fell on Thursday after reports suggested the U.S. job market remains much more resilient than expected. The S&P 500 lost 35.23 or 0.8% to 4,411.59. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 366.38 or 1.1% to 33,922.26. And the NASDAQ Composite gave up 112.61 or 0.8% to 13,679.04. While a sturdy labor market keeps the economy out of a long-feared recession, it could also push the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates higher for longer in its campaign to defeat high inflation. That in turn could mean more pressure down the line on the economy and financial markets. A report from ADP Research Institute suggested hiring by private employers was much more stronger last month than economists expected, with nearly twice as many jobs created than forecast. The ADP report can be volatile and isn't necessarily a good predictor of the monthly jobs report, and that is more comprehensive and due from the U.S. government on Friday. And now, your AccuWeather forecast. And now for your AccuWeather forecast. Massive dust cloud reaches South Florida. And of course, according to your AccuWeather meteorologists and staff, outbursts of Canadian wildfire smoke have filled the sky over the eastern United States in recent weeks. But a new airborne danger from a different source has reached another part of the country. Outbursts of Canadian wildfire smoke has filled the sky over the eastern United States in recent weeks, but a new airborne danger from a different source has reached another part of the country. This past week, AccuWeather meteorologists were tracking several large clouds of dust from Africa's Sahara Desert. Forecasters warned that the immense clouds would traverse the entire ocean and reduce air quality across the Caribbean and the southeastern United States by the weekend. Two plumes of the dust could be seen on satellite during the first part of the weekend, and of course, NOAA's Go East weather satellite spotted the first cloud of dust over the eastern Caribbean Sea and southern Gulf of Mexico, with an even bigger plume of dust to the west off the coast of Africa. Forecasters warn that while the dust is not a particularly rare occurrence, it could still bring impacts to people across the southeastern United States and Caribbean islands. As AccuWeather correctly predicted, the cloud of dust that traveled over the Caribbean Sea this past week reached South Florida today, and the National Weather Service office in Key West, Florida, posted a picture on Twitter of a hazy sky Saturday morning thanks to the plume of dust. AccuWeather meteorologists say coastal areas of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama could be impacted by the dust at the end of the weekend. The initial wave of dust may not be as extreme as the Saharan dust that spread across the southeast in June of 2020, which was so massive it was dubbed the Godzilla dust cloud, but the upcoming event could still impact air quality and make the sky appear opaque. And next, we'll have more news after this. This has been your news, and as we close out this evening, we'd like to send best wishes to the Full Gospel Baptist Fellowship, who celebrated its 30th year commemorative conference at Nashville's Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center. Of course, the founder, Bishop Paul S. Morton, along with Dr. Deborah B. Morton, and to the presiding bishop, Joseph W. Walker and Dr. Stephanie Walker. We wish you all the best. And to Full Gospel, God bless you and best wishes for another great year. Bishop Joseph W. Walker preached an amazing and dynamic message at the conference to close it out last evening.
You understand the distance it was going to take me to get to my destination. The reason why it takes so many people so long to get to your destination because you're not honest about your yellow dot. You embellish where you are. And it is interesting tonight because all of us remember the place of origination. We understand when the Lord first gave us an assignment, when the Lord first called us. All of us remember that day when God said, go do it. And when God tells us to do something, God never calls us from a place of origination without giving us some sense of the destination. Come here and go there. Abraham, come here, then go there. This is what God does. Moses, come here and go there. It's always the destination. But then God, in the midst of that, gives us revelation, but it is not always revealed to us because revelation has to come to us after we have experienced what God has allowed. That's why God doesn't call you on Monday and make you a bishop on Tuesday. The journey is necessary. He that is in the world, I need somebody, anybody, everybody, open up your mouth, give him glory. Oh, yeah. Fill us up, fill us up. Fill us up, fill us up. Shout it with me. I am full.
You've been watching a Restore Living Network production. This program is brought to you by Restore Living Financial, Premier Elite Real Estate. It's legacy building at its best. This has been RLN News. And from all of us here at the Restore Living Network and from the very heart of Atlanta, thank you for watching.